or good afternoon, wherever you are, summertime peeps. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Summer. If this is the first time you're here, my channel is all about creating your happy through things like design, garden therapy, and just overall fun experiences. If you're returning to this channel, please do me the huge favor and subscribe. I only ask because I've only been live a little over 3 months and I'm slowly getting to 400 subscribers. My goal is by Halloween to please be at 1,000. So if you really like these videos I've been providing, please hit subscribe and like, and please send me your comments. I love talking with all of you. So today's video is all about what you see on my door, the apple wreath. In my previous video, I did a whole deep clean of my entire front porch. And one of the final details is putting up apples this time of year. So even though we're not really in fall yet, we're getting close. So one of the things I like to do to transition between the July 4th decor into, let's just say, the pumpkin decor, I like to do apples. So if you really like this apple wreath or you want to understand more how to make something similar to it, stick around for the next few minutes. I actually videoed making this wreath behind me in 2022. So the quality is a little different than what I've been doing recently. However, what I'll do is I'll voice over some of the tips and tricks as to why I was doing certain things with the placement of the apples, why I chose certain pieces of materials, and hopefully you'll find it super duper easy to do. All the things I got on this wreath either came from someplace like a Michael's or Amazon. So either, if you don't have a Michael's in your area, you could also just do something online to order in. But at the end of the day, have fun. Make something that's whimsical for this time of year. I just prefer apples because I still have children in school. So it just symbolized the beginning of a new school year coming up right around the corner. So with that, everybody, enjoy the next few minutes, and I hope you continue to come back and spend some time with me. Have a wonderful day. Let's go make an apple wreath. Okay, so let's talk about the materials you'll need. Here I have a 16 or 18 inch wide foam wreath, and what I'm holding up here is actually sticky burlap. And what I mean by that, in a second, you're going to see me peel off the back of the burlap ribbon so it has almost like a band-aid effect. And that's going to help so that when you put it onto the wreath format, you just twist and watch it connect. Really easy. So for those of you who don't have the adhesive, you could use regular burlap ribbon, either glue gun it along the way or you can pin it. But for my purposes, because I like the lazy route, I actually like the sticky because then you can see it does a pretty good job.
I would say that is a ring covered in burlap, and I like the sticky tape. It actually does a really nice job kind of molding to what you want. So that's part one. Done. Ran out of ribbon. So I'm using this very open weave ribbon that a lot of you use for fun, fluffy wreaths, and I like to tie this around my corn stalks in the fall, which you'll probably see me doing later on. But for today, because I'm still gonna have a little bit of blue on my front porch, I'm choosing to use this in a way to mount this wreath onto my door. So let's see how I get it to work. Fingers crossed.
So for this ribbon, as I mentioned, I'm using a pretty wide ribbon, but I would recommend something a little stronger. Maybe either velvet ribbon that's extra wide or possibly another burlap texture. You're going to see that when I mount it later on the door, I mount it so that I tack this ribbon to the top of the door. But then today, I don't even have it that way anymore. I just made it a bow and hang it on a hook. So truly, it's however you want to do it. I think decorative wise, that's pretty. All right, so the next thing I'm doing is I'm grabbing these apples. Now these apples that say Big Otter Fruits, these are Amazon orders, and you'll see that there are small apples and big apples. And believe it or not, I was totally guesstimating when I put this together, and I used every single one of these apples and the little apples perfectly. I was able to fill
use them all and fill it all in the entire wreath. Now, as I place these apples on the wreath, you're going to see I'm going to do them in 3 layers. This is the first layer. I put on the inner ring approximately 7 apples, I think, if memory serves. And as you watch me do this, the way I like to make this wreath come through is I actually make it so that the apples look sort of hand tossed or not perfectly symmetrical. So you're going to see as I glue them in here, some apples are tilted sideways, some are sticking up, some are upside down, but it's purposefully done this way. And when I get to the next layer in a second, I'm going to do the same thing on the wide flat surface. So right now I'm just plopping apples down, but you'll see in a second the way I glue them will not be all standing up. I was just doing it for general placement. Okay, so here you go. I'm going to start gluing, and again, you'll notice that the placement will be, there you go, all on different angles so that it does give a more organic visual. So those are rows 1 and 2 complete. Now what I'm going to do is the outer ring with the rest of the big apples that coincidentally, again, I had exactly what I needed to go all the way around. Okay, so here you go. Now you can see all 3 rows are done. The first 2 more organic, and then the last one more open. So the next thing you're going to see is I'm going to put the little apples now in all the holes around. So watch me do that. So now you can see all of the apples, every single one, large and small, have been glue gunned to the wreath. Next step, what I'm going to do is use the fake eucalyptus. Now you could use real eucalyptus as well, especially dried eucalyptus tends to be a nice thing to add the door for some fragrance as well. But here I was able to get some pretty inexpensive eucalyptus. I think it was at Joann's at the time. And I cut them with wire cutters. Now what you're seeing me do is the first layer of eucalyptus is going to be actually attached to the back. This was just my brainstorming way to approach it. So you're going to see me glue gun almost another wreath of eucalyptus all the way around. You might, if you have shorter eucalyptus, then there's a way for you to actually stick it straight into the foam. Like if I didn't wrap the foam, you could stick it in there. But because I couldn't easily puncture the burlap ribbon that I had on there, I had to go in this direction. Once I put all of the eucalyptus sticks on the back as layer 1, I then went back to the sticky burlap ribbon and cut strips. And you're going to see that I use this as another way to adhere and cover so it doesn't look so ugly. But I did it as another layer to stabilize the eucalyptus onto the wreath. And now the back is finished, and as you can see, you could leave it like this if you wanted to. I personally didn't like the little holes in between the apples, even though it was finished with burlap. I wanted to look a little fuller, so now I'm taking smaller cuts of the eucalyptus and filling in all the holes between the apples. This is a very satisfying project, by the way. As you go along, you're just slowly building, and like I said, it's a very satisfying experience, especially for all of my creative types out there. All right, I think this is the last sprig. I actually used a floral pick to push that in. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you, ta-da, back to school look. Yeah, that looks great.
So that's it. Super easy, right? I can't wait to hear in the comments if any of you are going to also go back and make something similar. You know, I used apples right now, but think about the fall. You could also do these with little mini fake pumpkins. You could do this for the summer with fake lemons. So many different varieties if you like the idea of something like fruit on your front door. All right, everybody. Well, you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon or evening. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode here on Summertime. Thank you again for your time with me. And again, please subscribe if I haven't had the blessing of that from you yet. Take care. Bye, everybody.